So welcome back to day 3 of our 12 days of Christmas classes, and today on board we have it's 3 French hens. So I was thinking, what could we do for 3 French hens? I'm sorry, but the English, we call them frogs. So we're going to do frog pose today. All right, so let's take Virasana. Bring your knees together. By the way, for this class, you might need something to pad your knee out. I've got my knee noodle here. Come up onto your knees, separate your feet, bring your cushion or a block behind your bottom and reach down with your bum. So lift and widen your upholstery. As we come in, we're going to start to get a nice stretch across the front of the thigh, which is what frog pose really does for us. Let's take Yana Mudra. Squeeze the inner edges of your knees together. This is one aspect of muscular energy, and also squeeze your ankles against your hips. So don't just dump into the feet here. Squeeze in, lift your pelvic floor up as if you could draw everything up through the front of your spine. Take your shoulders back and also squeeze your shoulder blades to a midline. Take a lovely deep breath in and a long breath out. You could tone the back of your throat. Well, today we're looking at more muscular energy, and takes a little bit of courage associated with strength and steadfastness. So feel that tone of the back of your throat. Okay, a couple more breaths like that. Center in. You might be feeling some stretch across the front of your thighs. It's all good stuff. Lovely. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Namaste. Welcome everybody to day 3. Well done. Okay, so as you've compressed your knees here, so as you come to all fours, just ease up nice and slowly. You can move any spare gnomes you might have around to clear the decks a little bit. Spread your hands and drag the hands towards each other. So although they're not physically going to move on the mat, drag them in and you'll feel your muscles begin to tone the bone. And also we begin to hug the midline. Take your knees back behind you. Tuck your toes, and let's come to downward facing dog with lovely, deeply bent legs. We always use the first few moments of class to settle in, pedal the legs out. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, push back, downward dog. Let's do this a couple of times. Use your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, hold it here, and exhale, push it back. Okay, one more time, I promise. Come forward, high plank. See how your muscles turn on. Again, draw the hands towards each other. As you claw the mat, you're feeling muscles tone to the bone. Can you do the same with your legs? Draw them in, tone, lift your tummy. And then can you keep all of that going on as you lift your booty up and back to downward dog? So don't let any of that strength dissipate as you lift your hips up and back. Claw the hands and draw them together. Wrap your triceps down and under. Okay, and then looking up between your hands, lift your right leg all the way up behind you. So as you lift it, spread the toes. Feel the muscles tone the bone. Don't let it relax off. As you exhale, bring that knee up towards your nose and see if you can step it right up between your hands. Help it up if it doesn't quite get there. And then bring your back knee down to the mat. Now this is where you might need a knee noodle or a blanket or something to prop out your knee. Okay. So keep the toes tucked, and I want you to imagine that you're trying to draw this left knee forward and you're trying to drag your right heel back. So they're trying to draw towards each other. This again is another way muscular energy travels, as it draws towards each other and side to side. Hug the midline, periphery to core. Come on up, keeping that beautiful strength. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Even hug the arms that are lifted together. And exhale, lunge. And as you lunge, don't lose any of this energy of drawing the leg forward. Take one more breath. And then exhale, sweep your hands down. Lift your back knee, step the foot forward. And your right foot goes back. Bring the right knee down to the mat or the noodle. Again, draw in. So imagine you're dragging your right knee forward and your left heel back. You'll feel the back of your legs engage, which is awesome. And then into that drawing, front to back, side to side, come up. This is muscular energy. And then inhale, reach and stretch up. And even in that extension, we don't lose any of the tone that we created. These principles layer on top of each other, reaching up to Anjaneyasana, drawing into your muscles and your tone. Take one more breath. Super duper. And then peel your hands down. Well done. Pick up your back heel and step your right foot forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift the elbows. Press into your legs. Inhale. Come on up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Well done. Inhale, reach. Exhale and bow. Inhale, look up halfway. And then step your left leg back to a lunge. Now this time we're not going to bring that knee down to the mat, but we're still dragging this foot forward. So imagine it's on a roller skate and the roller skate is wanting to whiz you away, but you're drawing it up to keep the roller skate from going. Draw your right heel back and draw them together. Draw them in. Lift your pelvic floor. Squeeze to that midline. And then once again, reach your arms. Now we're in Crescent Lunge, reaching up. Super. Now keep that cinching back, really draw it back and bring your fingertips down to the mat. Bring your back knee down to the mat, as if you could drag it forward. And then keeping that energy, bring your hands to your right knee. And keeping all of that, keep like I'm trying to drag this knee forward, start to pick up the back foot. So in other words, what happens is as this knee draws forward, can you see the hip and groin hollow a little bit? I'll let that go, see? And now I do it again, drag the knee forward and I'll hollow back. This becomes a safer stretch. Now see if you can bring your back foot closer to your bottom, and maybe you could bring your hand round to the top of that foot and draw it to your bottom. See how I'm hollowing here? You want that. Hollow, hollow, hollow. And once the foot meets the bottom, it says hello, then you could go a little bit deeper perhaps. You should feel a stretch right here in the meat of the muscle. Take one more breath. This knee is still drawing forward. Okay, and this is how we get deep into the muscle rather than strain at the hip flexor. Okay, release that leg. And we'll switch legs. I'm going to switch sides so that you can see me easily on the camera. Bringing the knee down. We're starting in the Crescent Lunge. So straighten up your right leg. Draw everything to a midline. Draw it. Remember that roller skate we're pretending we're on. Draw it in. So your roller skate doesn't go whizzing off. Hug into the midline. And then reach on up. Hug in, hug in. Keep that energy, don't let it go as you bring the fingertips down and then bring the right knee down. Everything is still hugging even as you pick up this back foot. You can bring your hands to the front knee, or sometimes I like to go on the inside here. As I reach around, I'm not dropping, no, no, no. I'm hollowing, take the knee and draw it in. If I kept on doing this, my knee would whiz forward. Hollow it back. And then once it's there, once it's connected, then you could go a little bit deeper. But you know, you might not get there today, and that's fine. We'll just work to where you're at so that you get a lovely deep stretch muscularly rather than a strain and pain. Okay, take one more breath. And then gently let that go. And step back to downward facing dog again. Pedal it through. Okay, and then come on down. If you have got a knee noodle, then bring the knee noodle right into the hip crease, because it'll act as a rather nice reminder to keep the hip creases back. All right, we're going to go for the right leg again, because that's one nearest the camera. Walk your ankles and knees towards each other. Click your toenails down. Okay, spread your fingers. Okay, and turn your left arm in. So you've got this lovely foundation. Now claw the mat. Keep clawing and draw the left shoulder back. And then bend your right leg towards your bottom, slightly off to the side. It'll feel a little bit like you're going knock-kneed. So draw in and hollow your groins away from the knee noodle so the groins hollow a little bit. And then perhaps you can reach around for your foot. Okay, and if you're doing this, if you can get this far, then hollow the groins even more away. Press the knee down into the mat, just like you did in Anusara. See if you can get that thigh stretch. You can either have your fingers facing towards your knee, like I've got right now. This is a half frog. Or you can twizzle the hand around and see if you can bring your fingers and toes in the same direction. For 3. Half frog pose. 2. A French hen. 1. Release that off. Well done, and pause. Big thigh stretches are really lovely to release some of the tension that we can get in the back. Okay, so let's do our other side of the frog. So bend your left knee towards you. Press the knee down as if you're dragging it towards the top of the mat. That'll get you hollow in the groins, just where the knee noodle or whatever you got under your hips is. This is option 1. Option 2, reach around for the top of your foot and start drawing it into wherever you can get to. Draw it in and in and in. I've got a bit more range in this left leg, I've just noticed today. So fingers can be facing down towards the knee. That's kind of option 1. See how my elbow is up to keep my shoulder open. And then you can also try to twizzle the fingers to be in the same direction as your toes. Keep the knee pressing down. Beautiful thigh stretch. Half frog. 3, 2, it's quite intense. Keep kicking back. Keep that muscle engaged so you're not just yanking and pulling. This is the beauty of Anusara Yoga. And then gently release it off. Whoa, that's quite intense. Those were our French hens for today. Come on to all fours. Lovely, tuck your toes. Your thighs should feel awesome. Okay, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. So there were our French hens. So 3 French hens. Inhale, reach up, 2 turtle doves. Exhale, sit into chair pose. Pick up your left leg and wrap like we did yesterday. Left arm wraps under right. Lift the elbows, lift the hands. Lovely. Unravel your wings, reach up, unravel your legs. Other side, sit down a little bit, pick up your right leg in a spiral wrap. Remember the options of yesterday. You could be using blocks. Wrap the wings. Whoops, nearly went then. Lift your elbows, lift your hands. Oh, I'm really wobbly today. And then unravel, reach up, stretch up. And finally, a partridge in a pear tree. Bring your left foot to wherever is suitable for you. Again, recap day 1 if you need to sort of break this pose down. And then lift your wings my little partridges, up and down a couple of times. Maybe give your shoulders some circles. Partridge in a pear tree. And then release it down. Other side, pause. Try and do the same the second side as you did the first side. Super. And again, come up with your wings. This time maybe circle around. Reach up, and then you can sing out loud. So 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Release the foot down. Exhale, hands to your heart. Well done, my little French hens.